Hello, welcome. This is a bit different from my usual format of just speed paints, but I thought it would be fun to share my ideas for weird and fun things to do with OCs. I've seen a lot of this kind of video around the internet, but I have some ideas that I haven't really seen around much. Anyway, sit back, get cozy, and hopefully get some inspiration. Number 1. Write as your OC. This could be writing a short story as your OC, writing a blog, a song, a letter, even text messages. I wrote a song as my OC, Keiko, and I had lots of fun. I did it in GarageBand, but there's plenty of other free music making apps and software. I think BandLab is quite good for it. Of course, it doesn't have to be a song, that's just what I did because I like writing and rhyming stuff and music. But you could do anything. It's fun to try and get into your OC's head and figure out how they would write. Things like, what punctuation do they use, if any, what words do they choose, how good is their spelling and grammar, do they use a lot of slang or is their language more rigid? You can also make fake group chats for your OCs and figure out how they would text. All these things can help understand your OC better, and it's also really fun. 2. Make a fake piece of media for your OC to like. Now, I'm sure there are plenty of OCs out there who are in the fandom for pre-existing media. Heck, I myself have an OC who adores Doctor Who. But it's also really fun to make a piece of media solely for your OC to be a fan of. I feel like lots of people with OCs in modern settings forget that most people like some kind of media. Whether it's a film, TV show, book, or any other fictional story, most people, even if they're not involved in the fandom deeply, are fans of something. I made a fake yaoi manga for my OC to be in the fandom of, but it really depends on the OC what kind of media they'll like and how they'll interact with it, and it's really fun to figure out what kind of OC yours is. Maybe your OC is a perfectly casual fan who just watches a TV show or film occasionally because they enjoy it, or maybe they're deep in the fandom making fan art and writing fan fiction, maybe they've even cosplayed the characters. My OC is much more of the obsessive AO through writer type, which I have lots of fun with. Number 3. Make a fake social media account. There's this app called Twino, where you can make fake Twitter accounts for your OCs. All of them private and no one but you can see them. I think it was designed as a sort of notes app, but OC creators have flocked to it like vultures. It's fun to think about what username your OC would have, what profile picture they'd have, their descriptions, and what they would post. I think there's a similar app for Instagram too, but I don't have much experience with it. This also ties into the whole write something as your OC bit. We can figure out how their Tumblr blog would look, their Instagram posts, if they have a YouTube channel, and what their thumbnails would look like. Would it be clickbait? Would it be vlogs? There's lots of stuff you can do with the idea. Number 4. Make up voices for your OCs. I didn't realise how many of these involved getting into your OC's head to figure out how they'd act, but it's really fun, at least for me. You could use something like GarageBand or BandLab, or just a recording app on your phone to record how you think your OC would speak. You could figure out their accent, if they speak loudly or softly, if they have a weird emphasis on some words, speech impediment, if their voice is high or deep, and lots of other things that make someone's voice unique. If you didn't want to record impressions of your OC's voice, you could try to find a voice claim. If you don't know what that is, it's basically finding someone like an actor or celebrity who has a similar voice to your OC. It can help you visualize how to write their speech and just imagine how they sound. There's plenty of videos out there on the internet with voice claims, and usually the video is titled something like masculine voice claims or raspy voice claims, so it's easy to find what you're looking for. 5. Make skits of your OCs. These can be either written down or you can record them while doing impressions of the characters. You can write or improvise some funny interaction, banter, arguments, pretty much anything. It's super fun to improvise it when you're recording, just replying with what you think the OC would reply with. There's plenty of RP and writing prompts out there on sites like Tumblr, where you can take those and make a scene around it. You can write these down or record them. I like doing it in GarageBand because I can have multiple people speaking over one another just by layering the recordings, and the same thing can be done in BandLab and probably dozens of other apps like it. Number 6. Make a Pinterest board for your OC. I have a Pinterest board for all my main OCs, and there's lots of ways that it can be useful. It can help you find outfits to draw your OCs in, get an idea of their aesthetic. You can find their hairstyles, which has helped me be able to draw it more realistically since I have pictures of what it looks like on real people. For characters with mobility aids, you can find references for what their mobility aid might look like. I have a few wheelchair references for my OC, or you can just compile pictures that remind you of them or give off a similar vibe. It can also be useful if you participate in things like Art Fight to give people lots of references for your OC. I also used it to figure out how one of my OCs, Benjamin, would actually dress. I usually only draw him in turtleneck jumpers, but I've found lots of really nice animal embroidery on clothes and knitted jumpers with animal patterns, and I just decided that, yeah, he would make those. That concludes this little list. I hope you found at least one of these worth trying. I don't know if I'll make more of this style of video, but this one was quite fun. Until next time, cheerio.